What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down the backstory and the unique powers and abilities of Kai Chisaki, aka Overhaul, the main villain of My Hero Academia Season 4. I will explain his secret past, his true motivations, and his incredible OP quirk that looks like something right out of Fullmetal Alchemist. If you end up enjoying this video and you want to see more MHA content on the channel, please leave a like to let me know. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to AnimeUproar and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Heads up, there will be spoilers in this video specifically around Overhaul's backstory and quirk, but not about what happens to him in the story or the ending of the arc that Season 4 covers. If that's okay with you, then by all means proceed, but if you don't want any information that the anime has not yet covered, proceed with caution, you have been warned. When we first meet Overhaul, he is a captain within the Japanese mafia, also known as the Yakuza, and he is also a leader of a special group within the Yakuza called Shie Hasaikai, or the 8 Precepts of Death. We learn very quickly that Overhaul is a major germaphobe. He hates dirty places and he thinks that everyone around him is sick and filthy. This is why Overhaul and the other precepts wear those strange elongated masks. These masks were inspired by the masks worn by plague doctors during the plague outbreaks in Europe in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. The masks that the doctors wore resembled the beaks of birds, and they were filled with various aromas and perfumes because it was believed that this would prevent the doctors from contracting the disease themselves. And this is where the inspiration for these masks of the precepts comes from. Overhaul makes his big move in the story right after All For One is defeated by All Might and subsequently imprisoned. Overhaul believes that All For One's arrest left a power vacuum within the criminal underworld, and he decides to step in and become the undisputed ruler of the Japanese underworld. Overhaul will stop at nothing to achieve his goals, and he is willing to destroy everyone who stands in his way, be they heroes, villains, or innocent civilians. However, Overhaul's true motivations run even deeper than simply becoming the most powerful crime boss in Japan. As a child, Overhaul was taken in by the former boss of the 8 Precepts of Death and raised within the Yakuza. Overhaul was taught to adhere to a strict code of honor that the Yakuza follows, including not hurting innocent people or engaging in criminal activities that the Yakuza considers dishonorable. Overhaul felt a great deal of loyalty towards the leader of the 8 Precepts for taking him in and taking care of him, and he became committed to the Yakuza and to defending the honor of the Yakuza whenever it was brought into question. However, although the Yakuza was historically an extremely powerful criminal organization within Japan, with its own strict set of rules and codes of conduct, with the appearance of quirks and the emergence of the hero society, the Yakuza as an organization began to decline. Heroes with OP superpowers like All Might brought criminal organizations like the Yakuza to their knees. And by the time Overhaul came of age, the Yakuza that he loved and respected became just a shadow of its former self. The complete collapse of the Yakuza became all but a foregone conclusion. Nevertheless, Overhaul decided that he could not allow this to happen. He became determined to bring the Yakuza back to its former glory, back to the way it was before quirks appeared and completely changed how Japanese society functions. In order to achieve his goal, Overhaul decided that he must find a way to eliminate all quirks from this world so that things could go back to the way they were, and so that the Yakuza could once again return to its rightful place in Japanese society. One of the theories for how and why quirks appeared in the first place states that quirks are a genetic mutation that was spread to humans in the form of a virus carried by mice. Presumably, the mice were used for genetic experiments, and these experiments eventually led to the development of quirks in humans once the mice passed the virus on to humans. If this were the case, it would mean that quirks are actually a form of plague on humanity. Being the germaphobe that he is, Overhaul embraced this theory as proof that quirks are a disease that has to be eradicated. If Overhaul can find a way to eradicate all quirks, then he can eliminate the disease, and coincidentally, he can also eliminate the major reason why the Yakuza has been sidelined as an organization. If he can eliminate quirks, Overhaul can achieve his dream of restoring the Yakuza to its former glory and restoring society to what it was back before Quirks appeared and changed everything. But despite his apparent hatred for Quirks and his determination to find a way to destroy all Quirks no matter what the cost, Overhaul just happens to possess one of the strongest and most versatile quirks in the entire MHA world. The name of his quirk is also Overhaul, and it allows its user to disintegrate anything he touches, as long as he touches it with at least one of his fingers. He can kill someone instantly by simply disintegrating them, and that is in itself incredibly OP, but that's not all. If Overhaul chooses to reassemble someone right after disintegrating them, he can actually bring them back to life, and he has done this before with some of his underlings like Rappa. The user of this quirk can actually control how much of someone's body is disintegrated, and if he chooses not to kill someone but merely break down parts of their body, he can then reassemble those parts, and all of the past injuries and illnesses within that part of the body will be cured. That said, this process of destroying and rebuilding parts of someone's body is very painful for the person involved. But even with that in mind, Overhaul's ability to reassemble people and cure all of their illnesses and injuries is unbelievably powerful and useful. The quirk Overhaul can also be used on inorganic matter such as walls and earth, allowing the user to disassemble and reassemble the entire battlefield around him in order to gain an advantage over his opponents. It's basically like having home field advantage all the time, everywhere. And if that wasn't enough, if he disassembles parts of his own body at the same time as the parts of someone else's body, Overhaul can actually reassemble them in a way that essentially fuses the two people together, creating a fused and more powerful version of Overhaul. When he fuses with another person or persons, it doesn't even have to be just one, it could be more, Overhaul gains the ability to utilize that person's quirk and other abilities along with his own. So once again, to call this quirk overpowered is actually an understatement. That being said, this quirk does have some drawbacks. Overhaul appears to be incapable of simply turning the quirk off, so he has to wear special gloves that allow him to keep his power in check. Another drawback of this quirk is that it appears to take a physical toll on its user. When using his quirk, Overhaul tends to develop a rash and itching. Nevertheless, these drawbacks are relatively minor when compared to all the abilities that this quirk allows its user to utilize, such as the ability to destroy and put back together everything around him, including inorganic objects, human bodies, and even his own body. In terms of personality, however, Overhaul is not exactly a mastermind like some of the other villains in this series. Overhaul is definitely ruthless, and he is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his goals, including things that are extremely cruel and inhumane, such as treating innocent civilians as pawns in his criminal game. He is even willing to explicitly violate the Yakuza Code of Honor against the wishes of his boss in order to achieve what he believes to be the greater good of restoring the Yakuza to its former glory. As such, Overhaul can be extremely impulsive and prone to angry outbursts, which means that he is not the most organized and plan-oriented villain in the world, and this is something that can be exploited by his enemies and rivals. But with that, I have given you the basic setup for Overhaul as a villain and the unique properties of his overpowered quirk without spoiling too much of the plot for you. Having said that, we cannot fully understand Overhaul's character without first discussing in detail the character of Eri. If you would like me to make an entire video on Eri that explores her backstory, her true identity, and her unique quirk, be sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below that you want to see the Eri vid. If we hit 5,000 likes on this video, I will publish the Eri video within a week of hitting 5,000 likes on this one. And that video will serve as both a special video on Eri and as the conclusion to Overhaul's character arc. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it, including the Eri vid, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. If you don't make sure to turn on all notifications, the way that YouTube works now, you will miss the majority of our videos. It's just the way it is. So if you do want to get notified when we publish another video, whether MHA or something else, please make sure to click that notification bell and click to turn on all notifications. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest Boku no Hero news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. Special thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Angel Cruz, Steelers, Poet Pablo, Atropos Wraith, Viridala Beat, Ekarot GN, Anatoly Kazatsky, DJ Nathaniel, and Alpha Dio. And I can't forget the ones that rise above all other clans. A massive thank you to all of our The One tier patrons, including Ingrata, Alolanatum, Matty Mac, Makota-kun, and ya boy Seth. If you enjoy our videos and you think that they add some value to your life, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.